magic hour for me means that time between night and morning. Say like you're on the way back from a night out or something and you go to another party and you're with friends and you're all kind of haggard, but you're in it all together, you know, like sharing this experience together. It's quite sentimental to me.
To me, the magic hour can show you the city in a new light. It can show it in interesting colours or shadows or contrasts, brings it alive in an interesting way that you're not used to seeing. You know? It's normally quite intense because you're aware this is going to last for X amount of time, and you definitely know when it started and when it's ended. Around the ages of your early 20s, you know, you've left that point where you're controlled by your parents and you're entering into that time where you're sort of finding yourself, exploring different things, having freedom. One thing's ended, the other thing hasn't started. You could use that as a parallel to the magic hour. It's that sort of small window where the next thing's about to kick in. I'm 47. I don't think about being young or old at all, but if I see those, like, you know, the people we were working with, the artists over the past few days, I'm aware, like, oh, I'm not young. You know, like when you see other people's youth, you're like, oh, that's what youth is. You know, you can see it in their skin, their eyes, the way they're like talking to each other. You remember a bit of it from yourself, and you're like, oh yeah, yeah, you know.
Having fun is really important to me. Trying to do fun things all the time, just like really force it in non-stop. So even if I'm just like exhausted and someone's like, oh, we're gonna go bowling, I'll just go bowling. Because I don't want to like miss out on anything like that.
Being young, you have less commitments and you can go do things that you don't have to think so much about. Yeah, you don't have so many ties.
Yeah, I guess at their age I was sort of thinking like, oh, well, how do you make money as a photographer? I knew I wanted to do that and I didn't have a plan B. So listening to those guys, they seem to have a clearer idea about how to sort of survive and turn their interests into a way of like paying for their life. You know?
I'm just driven by progression. I like to feel like I've achieved something every day with my work.
I am ambitious. A lot of us have dreams and ambitions and hopes.
I wish I just didn't need as much sleep. I wish you could just take a pill and you could just work all day. Or, you know, or have fun all day. But just whatever, just like make the most of the day in as many ways as possible.
We are relatively free to be able to express ourselves creatively. I think that there are many freedoms open to us that throughout history wouldn't have been available, and we're very lucky.
If you go into a creative field, you're looking for some kind of adventure and some kind of like journey, aren't you? You're hoping to be paid by people to do some kind of interesting thing with your life. But the reality is that there's so many people chasing that, and you need to like get a consistent workload and get clients, and it's actually super competitive.
When I see one of my friends doing well, it's like, you know, good on them sort of thing. But it pushes me. It's like, shit, I better pull my thumb out of my arse and make a move.
Working with some of my friends is probably putting us more on the right track. Working with other people, I think, helps us succeed easier.
It's vital to be around other people and to have some sort of support system. So yeah, my friends are really important to me. And they are one of my biggest motivations. Being
back in Sheffield, there's people that would be into the stuff that I do, but not as much of an audience, and so it'd be more difficult to find that motivation. Whereas down here, I get a lot of support from friends and people who like my work. So being surrounded by creativity definitely cultivates what I do.
The experience changed for me when I moved to London quite a lot, because you're more immersed in art, because there's a lot more going on in terms of galleries and exhibitions, so it's easily accessible. Artist talks as well, which don't really exist where I'm from, so definitely makes you think a lot more.
London inspires me because of the people. Just every day you see things that are a source of comedy or humour, but then also things that are really tragic and dark. And in my work, personally, I like to put those two things together, try and make light out of the sinister.
London is really beautiful from a high up perspective. Seeing the sun rising or going down does alter it.
The ideal magic hour to me would be being up high, like a good view of the city, and not too much pollution, having 30, 40 minutes where the colour temperatures are changing quite quickly, you know, sometimes quite surprising, and then bang, it's over.
I suppose it allows me to appreciate different parts of the city that would normally be, you know, congested. You see different things maybe that you didn't see before, and there's the regular hustle and bustle.
For me, like, magic hour is hopeful in one way. You know, it's a window of opportunity as well, isn't it? It's finite. You can't stretch that out or play with it. It is what it is.